So my first idea was to provide some form of stable funding opportunities for grassroots work. I guess I just feel like in attempting to approach this big question of narrowing racial, economic, and educational inequalities, it's important for the network to continually be in touch with those experiencing and directly responding to these inequalities in their day-to-day life. And I feel like by offering funding opportunities for grassroots work, the OSUN network could just automatically be more in touch with bottom-up change around the world. I had something a little bit like the Bard Annandale TLS office in mind, but more global. That's kind of the image. And I think my idea just comes from my time working with organizations that attempt to tackle issues facing asylum seekers and the homeless here in Denmark. And what has struck me most about these organizations is how stressed and unstable the work environment is. And I think part of this comes from the fact that most of the funding available is for startup costs and new initiatives, and almost never for the continuation of a project. And this just creates incredible instability, which is obviously problematic when working with marginalized communities, but it's also just not conducive to the kind of long-term structural change that the question posed is asking for. I've just noticed every time these organizations have to write a funding application or need to start a GoFundMe campaign or whatever, they are forced to focus on the dramatic aspects and oversimplify the structural problems at hand, thereby moving further away from addressing the structural, racial, and economic inequalities that are typically pointed to in academic work and academic circles. So yeah, I just think linking grassroots organizations with funding that understands the importance of long-term structural change be an indispensable contribution to the world. But it could also be incredibly beneficial to the OSUN network to be in touch with grassroots work, and maybe the universities could even incorporate some of the firsthand experiences into the education, or there are lots of ways in which collaboration could be mutually beneficial.